role of our digital innovation pavilion as a space where digital solution providers come, present what they have, and they receive feedback. And then based on this feedback, they can improve, and therefore I think we are quite relevant. And here was another contribution to the discussion, please.
Yeah, fascinating discussion, really inspiring. I'm Asim Zia, Professor of Public Policy and Computer Science at the University of Vermont, and I'm Director of Institute for Environmental Diplomacy and Security there. And I have like in my social ecological gaming and simulation systems lab, we're working on these kind of like issues of risks and benefits of AI and the digital technologies. We have NSF funded projects and and also some NOAA funded projects. I just have a question in terms of there are like risks are emerging in terms of like all these fake news and deep fake news and how digital technologies are being used to kind of like polarize societies in terms of through memes and what we see in terms of the like evolution of this kind of movements that we are seeing, right? So, I'm wondering like social movements. I was wondering like those kind of like the polarization the risks of these kind of technologies. How would those risks weigh against the two benefit sides that we're working on funded projects? So one of them is like we're trying to develop these using social media and AI for setting up like multi-hazard early warning, early action systems that can take the AI-based satellite data sets and sensors and do data fusion to actually make near real-time or early warning, early action system forecasts and actually tell people how to do that. So those are like great benefits of these technologies. But you need to interface those with like Facebook and all these other social media technologies where those memes that are countering to these kind of information that we want to provide to the people to be engaged with those issues. Or similarly for AI can be used for changing like people to have more sustainable behaviors that reduce the carbon footprint. So for example, people enabling those technologies that enable public transportation sharing, eating organic food, or living in green buildings that are kind of like have less carbon footprint. So I was wondering like how do you see those risks and benefits, and what can we do to kind of like as a community to reduce the risks that we face? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for flagging this. It's really very important questions because it's with AI generated visuals, and so it's irritating. It's the era of photos or videos of being proof of anything is over. So it's the whole understanding of what is a fact is somehow to be newly defined, and it's really a big topic. So, but as you said, you are using it also for behavior change, and so that's what we are trying to do. And there on the side we have an image of the efforts that we are doing on developing an individual SDGs and climate action app, and with the idea that everybody would like to have an app. A city would like to have an app, each UN organization would like to have an app to engage people. So there are so many efforts, but these solutions don't talk to one another. So we need to have now a global consortium of digital solution providers who create a shared standard of digital identities, a shared standard of action and impact reporting, a shared standard for verification, and a global SDG action registry where this kind of individual localized action is then in a global registry and can then be used for incentivization through gamification or through micro-entrepreneurship models with global resources. So local action nurtured and connected with global resources. And for this we have also this effort of an individual SDGs action app. It's also part of the program that we are envisaging with UNIDO. And also we are working, as you mentioned early warning, we are also working with UN Environment, with the UN Geospatial Information Network. We had a session yesterday at our pavilion. It can be watched on our YouTube channel, IAI Glotcha YouTube channel. And there is also the understanding that the existing structures, UN-led structures, they are between national authorities and the agencies under them, but that the citizens have huge data potentials and ideas generation potential, early warning, recognition potential, and we are working there on building a data interface between the public providers and users of data and the citizen science level, and open to anybody in this field who have solutions that will help us get to workable individual SDGs and climate action app quickly, because we don't have time. We have to work together and get on the next level quickly. Yeah? And Avet, you have something?
Yeah, a great question. I second everything that Miro said, but I just want to flag 2 points here. So one is e-governance, and the other one is digital literacy. So I'm not a big fan of e-governance to begin with. Why I'm saying that? Because governance means regulations. Often that comes with it. And if we are trying to govern through regulation, what is inevitable, as we are seeing. I teach courses where assignments are submitted. So now it's very difficult to distinguish whether a student wrote the assignment himself or herself, or is it ChatGPT that came out. So we need to really rethink how we are going to assess the whole system. And that's part of actually the whole system there. As you see, falsehoods of information, what's going out in the social media. So what is key here, in my view, is the digital literacy. Because we need to really rethink how we function as a humanity. I mean, Noah Harari asked that question. So what's the point of humanity in the rise of AI? And I think that actually centers the whole discussion here, as you brought up. So it's not the fallacy of the digital technology. It's not the fallacy of the AI. It's the fallacy in my mind of the e-governance, and the fallacy that we are not knowing actually what's happening. Actually, Steve Jobs said a beautiful thing before, that we know that our users are intelligent. So that's why we ask them before they make a decision. So it's actually up to them whether they're accepting it or not. I think that's the level of knowledge we need to create. So whatever is happening here, so everyone knows as a community, as an individual, that actually what is happening, and what is happening with the data that they're providing, where they're providing the data, and how it is being utilized.
Yeah, if I may add to this, one important thing is the open source. So once everything is open source and we can agree on standards in technology, that we don't have to, have 10,000 platforms that don't communicate to one another. We have real interoperability. That will be a game changer. But again, it's a change in the mindset that we cannot be thriving in silos. Non-network or communities thrive in silos, and I believe we need to be very vocal about it. Just, from the level of society really demanding, accessibility to certain technologies that are essential to our well-being. And literacy is one of the really crucial elements, because there is a lot of aging population in Europe. There's a lot of young population in India, for example. I was in Bangalore this year. You have 3G. You cannot access the metaverse or NFTs or anything easy, Like in most places you have 3G. So solution providers have to take that into consideration, that you can work with the privileged part of the world, and this privileged part of the world, these communities are responsible for leading the way and for taking responsible decisions and taking care of the population that doesn't have access to these technologies. And we have, plenty of talented people, talented engineers, especially in India. It's like the home of engineering. There are so many companies, so many startups, and there's so much that can be done. But we need to, have this universal consciousness and agreement and share knowledge and be open source for absolutely every solution we provide, especially for targeting global challenges.
Yeah, I'm also 100% fan of open source.